2017, and I think you can't let him run wild here.
What do you think, 100 yards, the measuring stick?
Always. That is the threshold. You want to keep him under that if you want to play good defense.
Let's go, let's go. 372. Lucy.
Bortles looking to throw on 3rd and 2. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. Oh, he'll field it in the end zone. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Giants will get it now at the 20. The Giants making their way out, and at this point you would have to think that all mentions of last year maybe erased from team history, or at least that's what they want. Clearly, Charles, correct me if I'm wrong, the talent on this team, too good for another 3-13 finish, right?
And I think that was reflected in their draft in 2018. Because if it was an all-out rebuild, they would have drafted a quarterback at number 2. Instead, they drafted Saquon Barkley. So that signals to me they want to get back to running the football and trying to punish people on offense and take the pressure off of Eli Manning. And on the defensive side of the ball, they obviously have to get better. But believe it or not, you know who can really help them there? Their head coach, Pat Shurmur. Comes from a defensive family, understands how valuable it is, and loves the toughness and the identity that a good defense can provide.
Lawletta on 1st down. He dumps it off to Barkley. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Counting down toward the midway point in quarter 1. It's Barkley on the counter, and that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. The last 2 plays each lose a yard. They'll try to move forward here on 3rd and 12.
Hurry up, here we go.
A shotgun snap to Lawletta, and he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. The Jags heading out on offense. Well, last year we said, Charles, one of these years it has to come together for the Jaguars, doesn't it? Well, guess what? It certainly did. They won double-digit games for the first time in 10 seasons, and they picked up 2 more wins in the playoffs before falling in that tough one to New England.
And they decided that on offense, they were going to be a team that knocked you off the ball and ran it. That's why they drafted Leonard Fournette out of LSU, and he gave them some toughness and an identity. Quarterback Blake Bortles, often criticized, but elevated his play in the playoffs, both with his legs and his arm. But the defense, that's where the big transition happened. Yannick Ngakoue coming off the edge. Calais Campbell, maybe the best player on the defensive line in the league last season. But Jalen Ramsey out at corner, He gives them their swagger, he gives them their look, and he gives them great play on the edge.
The throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Bortles on the give to Fournette. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. A nice job to get 8 there after the incompletion, and now they'll look at a 3rd and 2 coming up. Looking back to Leonard Fournette's rookie campaign, over 1,000 yards rushing. And coming into the league, some people saw this kid as an ex-Adrian Peterson. What can we expect from him going forward?
I like the comparison because of the size, the strength, the speed. But I think he catches the ball better than Adrian Peterson. So I think they can up his utilization in the passing game. But what really impressed me was down the stretch in the divisional playoff game against Pittsburgh, hurt his ankle, left the game for a while, and came back and helped power his team to a big victory. Remember, he had some dings at LSU that kept him out of a few games. I thought that was a breakthrough for Leonard Fournette.
They'll try and run forward with Fournette. And he'll push his way up to about the 44 here. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down.
He may be a bit undersized compared to the modern-day NFL defensive tackle, but what he lacks in size, he definitely makes up for in his ability to make tackles in the run game as well.
And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. The Giants offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. And he'll get only a couple up to the 22.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90. Detroit! Detroit! Over!
A handoff to Barkley. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
So a 3rd and 9, and 6 defensive backs out there in the dime.
Patrolling the passing
Lucky
lanes.
56. Lucky 56.
From the gun, here's Lauletta. He'll let it go deep for Beckham. And he can't quite intercept it. Zone coverage, free safety was there. Couldn't come up with it, and now it's 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Alongside the former defensive back Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Jaguar football as we begin quarter number 2 as they take over following the punt with a 1st and 10. A handoff to Fournette, and he'll take it inside the 40 to the 39-yard line. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Here we go, here we go, here we go. Throw that. 372. Lucy.
Bortles to throw on second down. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
And with the play clock winding down, we're going to get a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. If they want it first, they need to get the football to the 32 here on third down.
Hey, 54, Ricky. 372. 11B. 372.
From the gun, it's Bortles. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Landon Collins.
Well, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
A first down carry for Barkley. And he's going to take it down to about the 35 here. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
And you remember pre-draft, there's a lot of speculation that the Giants should look for their future quarterback at number 2 with a great possibility. Remember, Sam Darnold from USC was still on the board, but they passed on him to take this runner, Saquon Barkley. And this is exactly why. They think he can extend the life of Eli Manning's career and give them 1,000-yard seasons year after year.
They haven't had a 1,000-yard season since 2012. Ahmad Bradshaw did it then. Now Saquon Barkley. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third. You mentioned very early on the need to establish a running game for this young QB. They really haven't been able to do that, though, in the first half.
So that means what in halftime? Adjustments time, right? Figure out what they are. Figure out the things that they really want to accomplish and who to run behind. Which are your better blockers? Find those guys and get in that direction.
Detroit! Blue 90! Blue 90! Watch him now, Barney!
They'll try to run for it with Barkley. And he's able to pick up the first before he's taken down at the 27. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
Something to watch here in week 1 of the season, tackling. Because you and I both know that in the preseason, a lot of these guys don't play a whole lot. Plus, the intensity and the speed really ratchets up on opening week.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And only a yard this time as he's taken down right around the 26.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. They'll fake the handoff. Now Lauletta. He's got that one complete to Darbo. And he's going to be out of bounds down inside the 20 at the 15. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the first. First trip to the red zone for the Giants. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 15. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Well, those Giant fans, you know that they love seeing Saquon Barkley wearing their jersey, but it's interesting. He actually grew up a Jets fan. Yeah, I wonder what his dad was thinking. What Big Al was thinking on draft night. Had to be so happy for his son. But they grew up watching Jets games. Just sit together, watch it. In fact, Dad has a Jets tattoo. Yes. Okay, so that tells you about how much he loves that team. You think Saquon's going to fix that and make it a Giants tattoo? Yeah, wants to make that a Giants tattoo. That family, though, they fully converted. They're supporting the G-Men. Now, that was kind of interesting. It appears this coaching staff really trusts this rookie early in his career. They want to get him a touchdown here in his NFL debut. The Giants on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This time they face a 3rd and 2.
Now let's go. 3:19. 3:19.
2 minutes remain in a scoreless first half. We're back to East Rutherford, but first this time out. The Giants on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. Here it's 3rd and 2. It's Barkley. Touchdown number 1 of the NFL career for young star Saquon Barkley, as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon. And a nice little start to the career for the rookie here, hitting the end zone in week 1 of his career. And that's a true welcome to the NFL moment, isn't it? The one that you actually like. A lot of times it's that big hit from a linebacker that says, all right, Rook, here you are. But when you're able to put it in the end zone and feel that sense of accomplishment, that usually fuels you towards doing it many more times in your career. Rosas now to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. This offense trots back out there now, and as they do, Charles, one thing to point out that we saw a second ago are some of the new rules in the NFL this year regarding kickoffs. Yeah, nowadays, the kickoff team, no more running starts. Remember that when you could kind of circle a guy around and here he goes? No more. You have to start, close to the ball. And when it's kicked, then you get to take off and go, so you can't build up your speed that way. Also, when you're returning it, remember those wedges that we used to say where guys would form together, 2 or 3 guys? No more of those. So it'll be a lot more man-on-man, one-on-one blocking. And also they have rules about where people have to be when the ball's kicked, where they have to be when the ball's caught. So to me, it's much more like a punt return than it is an actual kickoff return. So I'm eager to see if teams now take their punt returners, those nifty guys who make people miss in the open field, and make them the kickoff returners as well, because I think you can still get big plays in this area if you have the right people back there. Now Bortles throwing on 2nd down. There's the first NFL catch for DJ Shark. And he's brought down after a good gain. A good pickup there at 22. All right, Brandon, I know we're supposed to be unbiased up here, but go ahead. Do the Shark thing with me, because that was DJ Shark running past the defender for another big pass downfield. That's what he does best. That's what I loved about him coming out of college. And one other thing about him, LSU receivers over the last 10 years, at my estimation, become better pros. More consistent quarterback play, more opportunities. And DJ Chark,
They'll catch balls like that and continue to blossom.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Working from the gun, it's Bortles. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 38. That's sort of a second quarter to forget for him. Now 2 picks in this frame.
Almost as if the first one that he threw, he couldn't shake, couldn't get it out of his head. He ends up throwing a second one as a result.
Compounds the mistake a little bit.
Yeah, you got to be able to forget, compartmentalize, whatever you want to call it, and move on. He hasn't been able to do so here in the second.
Good starting field position for the New York Giants here as they come up 1st and 10. They'll run with Barkley. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. Lauletta from the 50. He'll let it go deep for Beckham. And this is taken in at the 5. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. They'll come out in the pistol. They'll try and run for it with Barkley. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage, back at the 6. Now before this 2nd down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1. Second and goal from the 6 this time.
Watch him now, Barney. Watch him now, Barney.
He's going to get it running right. Give him right around 4 on the carry. We'll see if they want to keep pounding here on 3rd and goal. And Barkley will try to punch it in. And he is in. Touchdown, New York. Saquon Barkley making quite a splash with his 2nd touchdown in his NFL debut. And the Giants are able to grow their lead. And this is no good. Missed the PAT, so they fail to connect, and this remains a 13-0 game. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
Rosas good with the extra point, and that'll make the score 14-0. Rosas now to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Out comes the Jaguar offense now as they get set to take over. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game. And typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything, at least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend. As we'll check in for the first time with the newest member of our Madden family, it's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. And we'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Out come the Jaguars now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution, or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. Tackle made that time by Dalvin Tomlinson. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game.
Lucy. Hank.
On second down, here's Bortles. And Austin Seferian-Jenkins has it. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the first. Fournette, a first down carry. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. It didn't happen on that play.
To throw, it's Bortles. And incomplete on the deep ball.
Oh, boy, partner, did that just happen? I've got my hand over my eyes right now because, like him, it's going to haunt my dreams, too. He was wide open. How did he overthrow him there?
Defensively, just very lucky. You know that they got away with one there. The Jaguars on third down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 8.
Lucy. 372. 372. Lucy.
Flag comes in. This might be a free play. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. Now the penalty, a big assist to this offense. Now it's 3rd and 3.
372. Check. 380. Move.
Shotgun now for Bortles. He's got the hook up to Lee. A really nice gain of 25 yards. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
Spread right, spread right, spread right, spread right, smack. Move. Throw left, throw left. Throw left, throw left.
On first down, Bortles. Now he's hit, and Bortles fumble. It's loose.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
That one complete to D.D. Westbrook. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15. He got 29 yards that time. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is now with his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play, but what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. From back at the 4, here's second and goal. They come out here in the eye. He's going to get it running right. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a third down. They need to reverse the trend. The last two plays have gone backwards. Now it's third and goal.
Hey, let's go. Trips left, trips left. Go left. 372.
Bortles. And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. Niles Paul, his first touchdown as a Jacksonville Jaguar. And the Jaguars have cut it back within a score. And he'll bang that one through. Here's Lambeau out to kick this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Here's the Giants offense now getting set to start the third quarter. After the long touchdown drive we just saw, you wonder if maybe that's taken a little of the wind out of this offensive sails, because they had it going pretty good last time too.
Had to sit over there for a little while, didn't they? You know, they were eager, amped up to get back on the field after just scoring, hoping to get the ball back quickly. That didn't happen, so I'd say come out, just kind of get started again. You know, doesn't have to be anything dramatic. Just get moving, get loose again, and see if they can get it downfield.
No gain, and it's second down.
That was impressive to me because while it was a pass play, they still rallied to the football like they were filling running lanes, and they were able to put the receiver on the ground.
Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's second and 10. Out of the gun, Loletta. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for third down. And with his size coming out of the backfield, usually takes more than an arm tackle to get him down. That's why they like to get him involved in the passing game.
No doubt about it. You saw him running that angle route there and catching the ball. And with his size, not often thought to have hands, but we're hearing that more and more. Guys are doing a better job of catching the ball at any size coming out of the backfield because they need to be a full part of the offense.
He finds Beckham complete. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. 23 yards on the play. And this may be a free play for Loletta. Caught left side, it's Beckham. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. So with the completed pass and the yardage they got, they'll decline the penalty.
So obviously more yards on the pass completion than they would have gained with the penalty. They did the math. They did it well, and it works for them.
So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10. After the penalty, they go with Barkley. They'll be brought down at the 21 after a pickup of 4.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Back now here at MetLife Stadium. It's the Giants with the football and also the lead as we get set to start quarter number 4.
Watch him now, Barney!
Again, it's Barkley. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. They call that a loss of 6 yards. And it's 3rd down now.
And this is why the head coach gets paid the big bucks. Look at where they are in this situation, partner. Do you throw the ball here in a long-distance situation? Do you run it again and trust your defense and make sure you take care of the ball and punt it away? What kind of options do you have here, and what do you trust more on your team?
Now, they may have just pushed him back into that throwing situation. We'll see. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Tashawn Gibson. And he will take it across midfield and down to the 45. So the first interception of his career under center, and you knew it was going to happen sooner or later.
It has to. And I know he feels like the world is just tumbling down at this moment, but there's got to be some veteran somewhere, some mentor that's going to tell him, hang in there, my man. Plenty more to come. Keep firing.
To throw is Bortles. Dumps it off to Fournette. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 16 yards that time on the pickup for the Jags and a first down.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
The Jags picking up the first down there, a gain of 12. Bortles now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Now Bortles. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
His throw caught at about the 5. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. First down, Jacksonville. The passing game looking sharp on this drive for the Jags.
39, Lucy. Hey, let's go. Trip set.
They'll try to run forward with Fournette. Only a yard that time. 2nd and goal. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
This Fournette territory here, and he's alone in the backfield on 2nd and goal. Throwing now is Bortles. And that is caught. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Austin Seferian-Jenkins from 4 yards out. And the Jaguars are within an extra point of tying this one up. So here comes the kickoff now, all even here in this 4th quarter. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And here comes the Giants offense back out onto the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Detroit! Detroit!
Lauletta, he'll look to throw. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Telvin Smith. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops. So how about that for a momentum switch?
We're in the 4th quarter, and it's a tie game. You've got to take care of the football here. Now their opportunity to take the lead right out the window, and everything is flipped in the other direction.
Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch.
72.
So after the INT, it's Bortles. Blitz coming, and down he goes. The man they call Snacks, Damon Harrison. Coming up the middle, gets him there for a loss of about 9. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here.
Lucy.
Bortles going to throw. He goes full extension, and he's got it. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
I'd have to say that whenever you see a good post route run, they do not like to let it end without the catch. Hence, that great diving play.
Yeah, lay it up there, let him go get it, and he got it. On 1st and 10, here's Bortles. That's into the hands of Westbrook over the middle. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
And he's going to go down just outside of the 5, right around the 6-yard line.
Well, there's still time to rectify this situation because the silver lining, they took a sack on 1st and goal. But that close to the goal line, that still definitely hurts.
2nd and goal from the 6 this time. He'll get it up the middle. And that winds up a decent run, and it also takes us to the 2-minute warning. Give him 4 yards on the play, and that will lead us into the 2-minute warning. Time for a break. We'll come back and see how it all shakes out after this. This is 3rd and 2, maybe the biggest play in this football game. They'll try to punch it in with Fournette, and he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ball game. And Santos able to put this one up and through. It's good. And they have taken the lead here in the final 2 minutes. Big kick right there to give them the lead in the 4th, but there is still time left for a final drive.
Did they score too soon? Post-game will tell us, right? Depending on what happens on this drive, that's how we'll analyze it. If the other team scores, they scored too soon. If they somehow hold on, they've managed the clock exactly right.
Just week 1, but already plenty of intrigue with the games going on, and this one no different as we come up on a 1st and 10. They begin with a run by Barkley. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down. Clock rolling as the Giants will hurry to the line.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
Partner, they're clearly saving those timeouts, but they still have to work with some urgency to put themselves in the right position.
Back to throw. It's hauled in by Shepard. And he'll be out of bounds up past the 45. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. This quarterback now 9 of 15 throwing the ball, 60%, and it's 1st and 10. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here. A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
So a 1st and 5 now after the 5-yard penalty from the neutral zone infraction. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain there on 1st and 5, and it leaves him with a more standard 2nd down. They'll go to Barkley again. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. They're making steady progress, but I see your face. You're worried about that clock.
I'm worried about the clock, and at some point, you have to have a splash play in there as well.
Buying time to his left. Nowhere to go downfield, but he's able to get out of bounds and stop the clock here with a 1st down. Late in the game, defense trying to avoid a big play. He's able to work out of the passing game, turn it into a run, pick up the 1st, and stop the clock as well.
And you know in this situation, everything is sped up. The intensity, the thinking, everyone's movements. But for a quarterback, he has to continue to be what we call a flatliner. Level in everything he does and read the clock, feel it in the pocket, and go at the appropriate time.
This is Barkley. And some space here. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
I know they got a little yardage there, but I'm not sure their investment is right. They're still running the football, and I'm not sure there's enough time to continue to do that.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout, as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds left to go. He's back to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Calvin Smith in there to take him down, and the clock will roll. They'll look to throw. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. Give him 6 on the play, and it'll be fourth down.
It didn't check off every box, but the most important one. Got the clock stopped, getting out of bounds. They may be a little short of the first down, but I thought that was the key.
And with inside of 10 seconds, 8 to be precise, we get whistles and a timeout on the field. So the field goal unit is on the field, as this is a big spot right here. This to potentially send us to overtime. And now here comes their final timeout as they take it with 8 ticks remaining. So a big one coming now for Aldrick Rosas. This to potentially send us to overtime. And that is no good. And this score will stay right where it is. Well, they got themselves in position to at least entertain the thoughts of an overtime, but as it turns out, it was not meant to be, Charles.
And you feel bad for a kicker in this spot. He's going to have to shoulder a lot of the blame, but in reality, this will be a team loss. They didn't do enough collectively to get the job done.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10. Fournette on the counter. And he'll take this for a short gain on what will prove to be the final play of this ball game. And partner, this first week, this first game that we get to call together, so special every year, week 1. You had the flyover, the big American flag out there before the game, all the hoopla, just having football back, so special.
It is an opening day, opening game. There's just nothing like it because you really build to a crescendo. But the best part for us is that crescendo lasts for a while. Opening game here, an entire season. We get into the playoffs, to the Super Bowl. I was really excited. I could barely sleep last night. I can't imagine being a player.
So for the Jaguars, it wasn't always pretty, but they do eke out the Week 1 victory here by a field goal. And they'll return home next week to take on the New England Patriots. Meanwhile, for the Giants, they go down to defeat here in the opener. And they'll try to get back on track next week as they head to Dallas to take on the Cowboys. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.